Thanks to the supporters and channel member Robert Bannerman. Oh, boys and girls, I'm so excited. We're going to be promoted to the league above, as you kind of already knew. But what it means is, fingers crossed, we go semi-pro and I don't have to do the night bike tours anymore. There might be a house in my future. Hello, and welcome to part 5 of the Tour de France. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, I mean, I don't really know at this point. We're going to do a cup final at the very least and probably play our greatest promotion rivals. Vigneul, we'll be playing them in both games. We'll play them in the league. We'll play them in the cup final. As you can see, there's 19 of 28 games being played. We've got a goal difference of 104. Theirs is 61. Theirs is very impressive. They're still only 2 points behind us. But as you can see, we've got a sneaky little P. They haven't quite got their sneaky little P yet, but we've won 19 from 19, scored 110 goals, conceded 6. The only loss they've had was when we beat them. They picked up a draw as well. So we could, after this much dominance, still not win the league. If Vigneul are able to beat us, we're going to play them today in the league, and then we're going to play them in the cup final after a little bit of time travel as well. But the reason the promotion has happened off camera is because it didn't happen in a match. You can see I've just had this news come through now. It's not actually our match day. So 19th, yeah, we didn't play. So 19th of March, we didn't play. It was actually this match day here that's just happened that we weren't part of, where we won the league. So we won then against Saint-Georges-sur-Eure. And I guess it's because Saint-Cyr-sur-Loire, because they lost 4-1, that result is what's actually secured us our promotion. We haven't won the league yet. It'll be a while before we're in the league. Like I say, there's still the opportunity for Vigneul to ruin it for us. But they're also as good as up, and they're the team we face in the final as well. Big Fat Dennis, 37 goals. From 18 matches on an 8.68. Big Fat Dennis. That's 37 league matches, by the way. 43 from 30 in all competitions. The man is, he's a machine. He's scored 15 penalties, apparently. That doesn't feel right. Is that what that means? 15 penalties. We are unplayable in the area as well, it seems. And Salah Bouzrara, not doing too badly alongside him either. 23 from 17, 41 from 29 in all competitions. No penalties for him. So if he had those 15 penalties that Big Fat Dennis has got, he'd be right up there as well. We are a very good side, as you can imagine. Transfer-wise, nothing has really happened since you were last with me. But what I am intrigued about is if this means we are about to go semi-pro. Now we've secured the promotion. So that's why I've stopped proceedings where we have, so we can just read through these inbox messages together. So, here we go. This is the meeting I was expecting. The board would like to hold a meeting to discuss potentially turning semi-professional. Obviously, we want to turn semi-professional because then I can earn a salary. So, I'm not sure exactly when the change comes through. We'll check in on it in a second. Just lots of unexpected promotion. I mean, it was very expected as far as we're concerned. We've done it a year ahead of schedule, though, and we are going to be going professional on the 18th of July. So not just yet, which means for the time being, I still have to carry on doing the night bike tours, which is, I mean, it's not ideal, but I guess as we are in the middle of a week off, I've done all this on my phone from Paris just before the night bike starts. My shift starts at 5:45. We looked at that in the last episode. I've got an hour until my shift starts. Guess I need to get back out doing my night bike tours. I'll see you in a week. So we have made it through to match day. Reminder as well that a win for either side here as good as wins them the title, because neither of us are dropping any more points for the rest of the season. So if we win, we are going to win the league. If Vigneul win, not only do they win the league, probably because they'll go ahead of us, and I will still have a game in hand, so there will still be the possibility we're going to win the league, but a win would secure them promotion today. So they definitely have something to play for as well. This is the team that we're going to be putting out there. Very familiar look about it. Just the missing Wimbia, who is currently injured. He's going to miss the next 2 to 5 weeks. I've just seen, I must have missed the memo for this one, Benjamin Tyson is leaving the club at the end of the season. That is not ideal. He's going to go and play in the national too. You cannot at all blame him for going. He has been an absolute superstar for us this season. A 7.46. He's got a lovely free kick on him. Scored several direct free kicks. And he's making the jump up a couple of leagues. So this is the danger of being an amateur team. That players can just walk out when they feel like it. So I don't even know when that one was arranged. I didn't notice it happen. It must have been amongst all the promotion kerfuffle. That's not ideal, but everybody's replaceable at this level, but Benjamin Tyson is on his way out. The team is Goda in goal, a back four of Dennis, Tyson, Camara, and Amimi, Brian, Perron, Dumas, and Lefebvre in midfield, and then Big Fat Dennis up front with Buzrara. We just need to outscore them. I mean, we've thumped this lot several times this season. We beat them 5-0 away from home in the league at their place. We knocked them out of the French Cup as well, and now we face them again in the in fact, this is our home game in the league, and then we face them one more time at the end of the season in the final of our regional cup as well. So there is a double on the line. We are clearly the two best teams at this level, and I'd like to think it's clear that we're quite a lot better than them as well, even though the league table doesn't reflect it, because they're so much better than everybody else around them. Big Fat Dennis is in with goal number 45 of the season for Big Fat Dennis. I've never used a target man before. There were people in the comments section at the start of the week who were saying, Kev, you realise your target man can't jump, can't head. I mean, what's that all about? He ain't any good, is he? Big Fat Dennis, 45 goals playing as a target forward on support, even though he's only 5'10" and can't head. He is a revelation. This system is just built around Big Fat Dennis, and he is having a great time. And there's Lefebvre to make it 2-0. 12 minutes gone. I love beating this. I hope they come up through the leagues with us, because it's lovely having a rival. And we've definitely got, I mean, you say rival, it's just the next best team that we like beating considerably over and over and over again. It's a lot of fun. Brian with the in-swinging corner, looking for the head of camera at that far post. Can't find him. Buzrara is there to lay it off to Perron. And now Perron actually turned down a move away in January. So, I mean, notes to Tyson, it is possible to turn down a move. That's a lovely finish from Lefebvre. He's not been getting much game time this season because we've had Mwimbia on the right-hand side of midfield, but Lefebvre coming in today and really taking his opportunity, putting in an excellent performance. And this, for a team that's officially playing Route 1, that's some lovely football. It's a fantastic pass from Buzrara, and we're 3-0 up inside 15 minutes. And this one, boys and girls, is all wrapped up already. We're going to win the league. The question now is just, are we going to add the regional cup to go? It's the only time we'll play in that regional cup because we're already promoted, and there never were any teams from a higher level that were added into it. It was just teams within our region, I guess, funneling downwards, which is why it's been the two best teams in this league that have ended up as the finalists. We were just kept apart throughout the entire tournament. So, of course, we met in the final because we're both that much better than everybody else. Brian lays it off to Dumas, and now Dennis on the left-hand side floats his crossover. Lefebvre is looking for a hat-trick, but instead plays it into the middle, looking for Big Fat Dennis, but can't find him, and it's back with Lefebvre on the right-hand side, and now Amimi with the cross. Buzrara is there with the looping header, but it goes just wide of the post. Big Fat Dennis was lurking, but unfortunately not able to get onto the end of it, and it remains just 3-0. They should absolutely just present us with the league trophy today. I know we're only 5 points clear, with Vigneul having, I want to say, is it 28 games we play? So still 7 games or so for them to play. So, I mean, theoretically, there's still a lot to play for, but we've learned this season that we're just going to carry on winning every game. They're going to carry on winning every game. And that's how things are going to wrap up. Lefebvre has got the opportunity for his hat-trick here from the penalty spot, and he scores it. What a way to take an opportunity presented to you by an injury to a player. We've not had much in the way of injuries this season. We've been very lucky with fitness and injuries in general, but Lefebvre taking an opportunity that's been presented to him, putting in a hat-trick against a team that are going to be playing in the next league up with us next year. And, I mean, that's a good argument for him to secure a contract once we start dishing out contracts in the summer. That, of course, is going to be the big thing that we're doing in the next episode. We're going to find out how much money we've actually got to spend and how many of this all-conquering team we're actually able to give contracts to, if any of them, because, you know, yeah, they've been great, but if we're on limited money, there's probably going to be quite a lot of good free transfers available. There's going to be decisions to make this summer, that's for sure. I don't think we're going to be in a position to give contracts to every one of these 12 or 14 players who've been a part of this promotion campaign and still bring in improvements on top of that. We're going to have to make some tough decisions with some of these players who have been virtually ever present. The likes of Big Fat Dennis. I mean, we're not letting Big Fat Dennis go. Big Fat Dennis is already a cult hero. But someone like Dumas. Dumas is a good example. Is Dumas going to be someone that we keep around next year? Or is there going to be a better option to play in his role? It is difficult to say without knowing how much money we're going to have available. Look how much better both of us are than everybody else in this league. There's such a big gap. It is absolutely bonkers. But we have secured another comfortable victory against our closest rivals today, 4-1. Looks like we're not going to get another highlight. And now we're going to do a load more matches off camera before we play Vigneul one more time, presumably at Wembley or French Wembley, Wembley. What's the French equivalent? It's probably not at French Wembley, is it? You never know. Well, what's the biggest ground in our region? Probably our own ground. If this final is just at our ground, I am going to struggle to hide my disappointment. The Ferv got a 10 out of 10 in that game, by the way, which is lovely old stuff. Let's just have a look to see if we get any confirmation about where that game is actually going to be played. If the game wants to finish processing, goodness me. We're still early days in this save. Why is it taking so long? So that's going to be at the Stade de la Source, which is in Orléans, which is where Orléans play, believe it or not. See, I can do French. Smaller than our ground. Seems a little bit. Should have just played it at our place. Would have been the easy solution. Oh, boys and girls, this isn't the cup final, but I think we're about to get the trophy presentation. Although I'm saying that as I pressed record, we were 10 points clear with 3 games to go. It looks like Vigneul have just scored, so we're not actually going to win the league today. I was hoping to show you the trophy animation. We'll let this one play out just in case, but as you can see, for the first time all season, really, we are struggling a little bit. It's like the pressure is on ever so slightly of, oh, we could win the title today. And it does seem to be affecting our performance, because I don't remember there being any other time this season, other than that one game in the cup when we got knocked out of the cup. I don't remember any other game where we laboured to a result the way we are in this one. And we're in very real danger of losing our perfect record. I've never done a perfect season in Football Manager. But if we concede an equaliser here, we might be losing the perfect record. Oh, my word. I thought I brought you back to show us winning the title. What I'm actually showing you is why we didn't get the perfect season. We should still get the invincible season, but inexplicably and against all logic, the perfect season is gone against a team who are down in 10th place, unless we can find a last second winner. We've got 45 seconds left. I said the invincible season is going to be fine, but it's actually us finding ourselves on the defensive again. Surely we are not going to concede a second goal in the final couple of minutes of this match. That would be absolutely heartbreaking and would potentially hand the title to Vigneul, who are still not a million miles away from catching up. As Bouzrara is in here, though, for the perfect season, and Salah Bouzrara, 46th goal of the season in the 94th minute. We have not had to make things this hard at any point this season, but we're a little bit of late season, last bit of tier 6 shenanigans, but we have got a hero moment. Was there a late goal at Vigneul? It looks like there wasn't, because we haven't won the title today, so I will try again to show you the trophy celebration. In the meantime, we might even have the cup final before then. I'm not sure. Is that the next match? I've lost track. We're not showing you the trophy right now, though. And it is, in fact, straight into the cup final. And it is worth noting that in all of the history of this football club, we've never actually won a cup competition. There's a few league wins. Obviously, the Tier 5 win a couple of years ago. We've won the second division a couple of times, or in fact, I guess it was a split second division because it was weird then, and another second division win there. So there have been a couple of league wins, but we are about to wrap up. So we're starting a trophy cabinet we intend to fill multiple times over. And I'd like to think that club legends, club icons, Olivier Giroud and Laurent Koscielny are both going to be in attendance for this final, who incidentally were both in the same tour team back in the 2008. I think it was 2008. They might not be. In fact, Giroud might have arrived as Koscielny left. 2008-9, Giroud signed for Tour in the second tier. Koscielny... Oh, no, there you go. The 2008-2009 season, Koscielny and Giroud were in the same Tour team in the second tier. That was only... I mean, those two are both still playing. That was 14 years ago. Shows how far this team have fallen, but fingers crossed. Those boys are back today for our cup final. You know the team by now. Mwimba is back to play on the right-hand side. Other than that, it is the team we've played all year long, apart from David Bekolan, who has started to force his way into the team recently, thinking ahead for next season, really. He's 21 with a bit more potential than Dumas, who's been playing there previously. 25, or actually, to be fair, has more potential. But let's face it, we're not going to be fulfilling potential at this level. And we want to have a look at options. So Bekolan has played quite a lot of games recently. As you can see, no changes from our previous match that you just saw the end of there. So we are giving Bekolan a little bit of a run in the team. But we're not worried about runs in the team or anything like that today. All we really want is a little bit of silverware. Hopefully, the first of two pieces of silverware that we pick up in this episode. We'd like to grab the trophy here. And then, of course, I will endeavour to show you the trophy celebrations in the league as well. We're not going to do another league match, but I'll show you the last couple of minutes like I did with that one just now, just so that you can see us do the trophy celebration, because we love a bit of a trophy celebration around these parts, especially at a club that hasn't really had much in the way of trophy celebrations in our history, never mind in recent years, which is what I was about to say. Although, to be fair, for a team that we thumped multiple times this season, we do seem to be wobbling a little bit as we hit the end of this season. 0-0 going into the second half. This is not like us at all. We have been the better of the two teams, but you've got to worry a little bit that our goals seem to be drying up. Big Fat Dennis and Buzrara both starting to struggle for goals a little bit. I mean, these are players who, between them, are averaging 4 goals a game. So we can't complain too much that they're drying up right at the end of the season. But we would like to get ourselves over the finish line and grab the trophies before all is said and done. We know we're a better team than Vigneul. It would be heartbreaking to let them have this trophy that is rightfully ours. And Buzrara is in, and it is number 47 for the season for him to put us 1-0 up on 68 minutes. And that should be enough. We don't concede a lot of goals. And I'd like to think there's not going to be, that's a habit we're not going to be changing in this match either. It's a lovely ball forward from Amimi. Buzrara's there. And I think it's time for our now compulsory 5 substitutions on 70 minutes. Or at the very least, we're going to make as many changes as we need to make to keep tired legs untired. Right, we shuffle these around like this. Usually put Dennis further forward and go to that because Amimi can play on both sides. That will probably do for now, actually. It's a cup final. We don't need to do 5 changes. We can do our 5 changes across 3 breaks in play. Is that what it's known as? So we've got 2 more substitution potential moments for our final 3 changes. A corner from Dennis is headed over. And I think we will make a couple more changes. We want energy on the pitch. Dumas can come on. Bekolan can go a little bit further forward. We'll take off Buzrama, bring on Buchiba, and save our final change just in case we're on the lookout for potential injuries or red cards or anything like that in these final few minutes. With the game being as close as it is, we should probably just keep one back just in case we need it, as things are so tight in this game. Goda playing the ball forward, and Buchibo, who's just come off the bench, he's through one-on-one with the goalkeeper and cannot beat him. My assistant manager's rather helpfully telling me that Dennis is playing out of position. He's played there plenty of times this season. He's not that far out of position. Marcho is in on the right-hand side, crosses, and I thought that was a bigger cross than it looked. Bekolan to Dennis, and now Amimi with the cross, looking for the far post where Marchal was supposed to be lurking but wasn't anywhere near where the ball ended up. But Marchal was going to drill one in on his own, and big fat Dennis, 51st goal of the season. I apologise to my neighbours for yelling big fat Dennis at the top of my voice, but at the same time as apologising, I acknowledge it's probably not the last time they're going to hear me do it. The man is becoming a hero. It's not that there's very few players in the history of this YouTube channel who have got 50 plus goals in a season. I can only think off the top of my head, Jorge Hernandez, possibly Ruben Iribarren, and there we have it. We have won the Coupe de Saint-Val de Loire, and it's all thanks to big fat Dennis, who's going to pick up the trophy himself. He is our captain. He is our team leader. He is our top scorer. He is our hero. Let's have a bit of trophy action, shall we? Look how happy I am. I'm over the moon stood there at the side of the pitch. A little bit of above head clapping, and we get ticker tape. We get fireworks. No expense spared in the French 6th tier. And all that remains to be seen is who's going to do the cartwheel. And we won't know because the roof of the ground is so low. The ticker tape got all the way up here. We are going to see the cartwheel, I think. Who's doing the cartwheel? How do I file a bug report? Because there was no cartwheel there. And that feels like a bug. Well, cup is won. The episode, for all intents and purposes, is over. But of course, we do want to just wrap things up and show you another trophy celebration. Hopefully this time, complete with cartwheel. Have we got anything significant coming through here? We got 10 grand for doing it. The board are happy that we did a football win. And now we just wait for the final couple of minutes of the next match when we should wrap up the title against our own feeder club. There's no corruption here, boys and girls. See, I would argue this is evidence that there really is no corruption here, because we went into this final day of the season knowing we just needed a point to win the league, just 1 point. We are 14-0 up. I think if our feeder team were going easy on us to make sure we won promotion and won the league, I think they'd be a little bit more subtle about it. What we're actually seeing here is evidence of the fact that we can take all of their players whenever we want. And not that we have, but we can. Any players there that are any good, we can just take them. And we've won the league, and they've finished bottom and are getting relegated, and they've barely scored a goal all season, never mind won a game. We are worlds apart in quality between these two teams. I'm not watching the replays anymore because we're 15-0 up. Have you ever seen an XG as high as this? We're closing in on 7 for our XG. This is quite impressive stuff. Big Fat Dennis has already got 5, I think, in this game. Buzrara also now has his 50th goal for the season as well. So that's 2 boys from this team, both with over 50 goals. I'm not sure if they're both over 50 league goals. We'll have to double check that in the transfer special and season review that we'll be doing on Monday. Because remember, no episodes in this series at the weekend, apart from very rare occasions when I get the time to do one, basically. But just assume we're Monday to Friday on this series, and there'll occasionally be other stuff dropping at the weekends. You'll get the network game on Sundays most weeks, and sometimes there'll be something extra for you on Saturdays, depending on, like I say, whether I've had the time to do it, but not this week. We need to establish this new Monday to Friday routine. I say new, the return to the Monday to Friday routine. It's been in place for years over these summer months when we take the foot off the gas a little bit in preparation for silly season to start up again when the new game comes out. Le Boss plays it in to Big Fat Dennis, squares it over to Marshall. Can we make it 17-0? I don't see why not. I mean, if we can get to 16-0, we can probably get to 17-0. Of course we can. That's 23 for the season for Brian from the left-hand side of midfield. Arguably the most impressive season of all, considering he is playing very much as a midfield player and is well into the 20s for goals. And we have won 17-0, but no trophy celebration. All of that. And we don't even get to see that. At least you saw one trophy celebration today. We have mathematically won the league now, haven't we? Or is this where those potential shenanigans we talked about before, where are we actually guaranteed promotion, or is there some kind of playoff that happens now? No, because we've already, there you go. We are crowned champions. For some reason, though, we just didn't get a trophy celebration there. It always upsets me when that happens. But the board are delighted. I'm delighted. There's your confirmation. We are crowned as champions. And this is what the league table looks like. Still with 2 games to go. I'll show you the final table when we get into tomorrow's episode. But we've got the 2 top scorers. It's not 50 league goals anywhere near for either of them. Big Fat Dennis has got 2 games to try and get to 50 league goals. But Big Fat Dennis, Buzrara and Mwimba are the 3 best players in the division. Brian, Wimber and Dennis top for assists. Goda's got 18 clean sheets from 26 games. We're a good football team. And I know some of you are going to question how are Bourges Foot already relegated. It's because if we go up a league to the now how do we do this? Probably the easiest way is to just go on here. That's their 3rd team. Their 2nd team playing the division above and are already relegated. They are a terrible team in the division above. Just the 2 draws to their name. So they were actually relegated before we were promoted. This is the league we're going to be playing in next year. So they've been relegated. They can't both play in the same league, despite the fact we're in the same league as one of our feeder teams. I guess a feeder team and a 3rd team are different. And so they are automatically relegated, which saves one of these teams around here. I mean, imagine a situation where UFC Touraine survive. I mean, they're not officially relegated yet, presumably because more of these teams, I mean, if their first team it's relegated, is that a possibility? No. Unless, of course, the first team, maybe? No. I don't know. There's some kind of permutation that means they're not actually relegated yet, despite being pathetic. So we'll wait and see how that plays out, I guess. If you have enjoyed that, though, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.